Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. KGB Santosh Kumari, founder and CEO of ShanMukh Linguaskill Solutions. So, as a part of the program, we have initiated virtual reading club, and this is the second year of the reading club. So, as a part of this project, we have book reviews on every Friday. So, today we have an eminent personality amongst us who is none other than Dr. Kuntalika. So, without any further ado, I request Miss Nissi to kindly introduce today's reviewer. Nissi, floor is yours.
Good evening, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, sure. 1 minute. Okay. So, Dr. Kuntalika Germany has submitted her thesis on performing womanhood, Jatra in Bengal, at the Department of English, Banaras Hindu University in the year 2024. Her thesis focused on the flock theatre of Jatra in Bengal and on its women performers. Her areas of interest include folklore studies, gender studies, performance studies, culture studies. She has presented papers in several international and national conferences. Being a student of English literature, she harbors keen interest in reading fiction and non-fiction books. Her favorite authors are Sarat Chandra Chattopadhyay, dramatist Girish Karnad, the Brunette sisters, Kamala Das, and several others. At present, she is working as an associate professor of English at Vignan's Institute of Information Technology, Visakhapatnam. Yeah, so
Th-
that's
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now you can take over the session.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Santosh Kumari, madam. Thank you so much that you got back and you called me. And this is something that I love to do. I love reading, and this is a part of it. So it is not your pleasure, but rather it is me. I felt very good that you like. I think we have last met 2 years back, maybe.
Yes.
So yes, and thank you, Nishi, for this introduction. So without further ado, I'll talk about the book that I have chosen today. I have the copy with me right now. It is named as Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto. Before I move on to the book, uh, this book generally, as Indian readers, will generally focus on mostly British literature because that is often there in our syllabus. Uh, then we might move to American literature, and obviously we have our Indian literature. But uh, from the past few years, suddenly Japan, Korea, and all these, obviously we had African literature and all those. We had our whole genre of new literature. Uh, but Japanese literature has suddenly become very eminent. And maybe if we talk about like 5 years back about the Indian students, we might have heard of certain authors such as Murakami. But there are certain, like, I started exploring Japanese literature like a few days back, maybe a few months back, and I came across several new authors who might have written just one book, but the book is exceptional. The thought process is exceptional, and what they're focusing on, it is very different from what we actually see in the different other literatures. Like for example, yes, as I told you that Murakami is a name which comes again and again. There is another author, Hiraki Miragi. So that is another author whom I have read, and it is like she has written one book, but the book is so good. Then again, today's book, as in Banana Yoshimoto's Kitchen, this is also, this author might have written several books, but it is this one book that for which she is known. And talking about Japanese literature, what is most striking is Japanese literature always talks about their tradition. It talks about memory. It talks about space. It talks about how a person feels. And most importantly, they mix everything with food. They talk about food. And food, in a way, is related to memory. So that is one thing that I liked the most about Japanese literature, that they talk about food, and food becomes central to a person's memory. For example, when we even look at Indian literature or the Indian sentiments, we always say that, when we are away from home, that I remember the food that my mother cooks. I know my mother cooks the best. So it is not about the food that my mother is cooking. It is about the memories that I have in relation to my mother, to my home, and a food represents that memory. So, kitchen, obviously, from the very name, you can understand that kitchen also deals with food. Kitchen also deals with memories. So, this book basically revolves around the theme of sorrow, loneliness, and how kitchen and food is a space that helps people, or this particular protagonist, to forget her grief. This book isn't very old. It was published in 1993, and it is originally in Japanese. It was translated by an author. The name is Megan Buckus. I feel that maybe the original version will be much better than this, but the translation is good. The translation is good. It is easy. The language is very good, and at some point you'll be able to relate. The language is so good. It is easy, and there's a certain flow, so that you'll understand emotion. You'll understand what is what. Sorry.
One second, one second. Sorry.
Should I continue, madam?
Yes, ma'am. Proceed.
Okay. So it basically begins with the protagonist, and the name of the protagonist is uh, I am quite bad at names, so yeah, I have to look. The name of the protagonist. The name of the protagonist is uh, Mikagi, and she is a girl who has lost everyone in her family, and the last person who was there for her is a grandmother. So she used to be with her grandmother, and she feels that she's such a person whosoever comes in contact with her, they die. So she has lost her father, she has lost her mother, she has lost her whole family, and the only person that was there for her was a grandmother. And one fine day, her grandmother dies. And when her grandmother dies, Mikagi suddenly feels that there is no one else. She's suffering from loneliness. And she takes refuge in the kitchen of her home. And there's a very beautiful expression, a beautiful line. She says that when I took refuge in the kitchen, it was the continuous buzzing of the refrigerator that helped me cater my loneliness. So her loneliness when she was in a deep dark space, when she had lost everyone in her family, it was only the buzzing of the refrigerator which made her feel that there is someone, there is some accompaniment in that blank house, blank surrounding of hers. And she doesn't know what to do. She all day long she lies beside that refrigerator to navigate her loneliness. And suddenly she comes across a boy. So the name is Tanabe. So that boy, even he is lonely, but he used to have a good relation with this girl's grandmother. He comes, he approaches her. He says that, why do you stay alone in the house? You come to our house, even we are lonely, but I and my mother is there. So don't torture yourself by being here alone in this house. Then she doesn't know at this point, she doesn't know what she's supposed to do. She packs her bag, she goes. When she reaches there, at first she takes a look at the kitchen, and she likes the kitchen because there's a certain warmth, there's a certain life in the kitchen. She takes, the boy says, tells her that you do one thing, you can go around the house, whichever corner you like, you can take that corner, you can be here for a few days. And when she looks around, she crosses the kitchen, and even though the kitchen is not clean, and she writes that the kitchen is not clean, and this is one of the other reason why I like this place, because the cluttered kitchen shows that there is life in this house. And she says that there is a sofa just beside the kitchen, I'll take that space, I'll be there, because I need to be beside the kitchen. And slowly we get introduced to the other characters of the story. And this book, it is basically, we can call this a novel actually. There are hardly 160 to 150 pages. Okay, 150 pages are there in this, and it is divided into one novella and one short story, both dealing with the grief, with pain. The first one is titled Kitchen, and then there is a second one. The name is Moonlight Shadow. So, if someone is looking for a very short read, then this is the book that they can start their reading journey with, actually. Okay, so going back to where I left the discussion, then we slowly get introduced to the other few characters. One is the boy's mother. And the boy's mother is a very, very interesting character. Why the character is interesting is because this woman, she is a trans woman, a transgender. Like she changed her sex, not because she wanted to, but because there are some incidents that forced her to. This woman, who is the mother of this boy, is basically the father. So the mother is actually the father. And it happened so that this boy's mother, the original mother, she died of cancer. And when she was dying, the father realized that how the world goes on its own way, and we can do nothing about it. We absolutely can do nothing about it. We just have to accept whatever comes in our way. So when the wife is dying, when this boy's original mother is dying, she's in the hospital, she's suffering from cancer, and everywhere there is death. Death is surrounding in the hospital. She becomes very sad that every corner of the hospital reeks of that smell of death. So the father becomes very tensed. He asks his wife that, what should I do for you? The wife says that there should be some life in this room. There's no life, everyone is dying. So they decide on buying an indoor plant. And when they decide on buying an indoor plant, he goes to the market. So there is one indoor plant, the cactus. It will survive without the sunlight. But he feels that I cannot, like my wife is on her deathbed. How can I gift her a cactus? Then he buys a pineapple plant and he brings it. So till the time the wife is alive, she looks at the pineapple plant and it is as if that plant is breathing life into her. And one day she realized that now, like today is my last, I'm going to die now. She tells her husband that you please take away this. You take away this plant from the surrounding. And he asks why. Why do you want me to take away this plant? She says that you just take it away, or else alongside me this will also wither. I don't want the plant to wither. So even we see that how there is extreme grief, and when the wife dies, this man decides, he realizes that I'll never be able to love anyone else. It is not possible for me to fall in love with anyone else now that my wife is dead. And there's a very beautiful line. I would like to read that line. Soon, soon after that, she died, and the pineapple withered. I didn't know how to care for plants and had overwatered it. You see, I stuck it out in a corner of the yard, and although I couldn't have put it into words, I came to understand something. If I try to say what it is now, it's very simple. I realized that the world did not exist for my benefit. It followed that the ratio of pleasant and unpleasant things around me would not change. It wasn't up to me. It was clear that the best thing to do was to adopt a sort of muddled cheerfulness. So I became a woman, and here I am. And so when the wife died, and this man, he understood the ways of the world, he transformed himself into a woman. He underwent an operation and he transformed himself into a woman. So this girl, the protagonist, Miragi, she comes and stays with this woman and her son. And she starts being there. She starts cooking for them. She stays there. And she looks at this woman and she wonders like what is happening. This woman, she was supposed to be a man and now she's a woman and she's working all day. She cannot believe what she's actually seeing in front of her. Then she starts focusing more on cooking because that was the only thing that was holding her together. She takes up culinary classes, she prepares dishes, and one day she lands herself a job as a cooking teacher. She leaves their home and she goes back to her apartment. Next, after a few days, she receives a call from this boy with whom she was staying. And he says that I was meaning to call you from a long time. My mother has died. My mother, who is actually my father, has died. And now I am in the same state as you were when I met you. She doesn't know how to react. She packs her bag. She goes back to the apartment of the boy. Now, she doesn't find the same charm that was in the kitchen of that house when what she had felt earlier when she has visited. Now, because the lady of the house is gone, the kitchen is no more a space of wonder. And these two children, who are actually teenagers, so now they don't have any worldly connection. They don't know what to do. They are both lonely in this world. And only with this newfound friendship, they have each other. But they both are having the same status. All of their family members are dead. And the girl somehow feels responsible for the death of the boy's mother. Because I told you at the very beginning that she feels that wherever I go, people die. So maybe I am the agent of death. Wherever I go, people die. So this, I had nothing to do with this family. They were doing good. Suddenly, when I come in picture, there is death. How does that happen? And somehow she feels guilty of this, even though the boy says that it has nothing to do with you. But she is somehow guilty that maybe I am the reason. And she tries to be with that boy, give her support. And how does she give her support? She starts cooking for him. They eat together. So again, food becomes the central idea over here. Again, they start reconnecting through food. She cooks these dishes, they go out together for coffee, and they talk about life. So, actually, when you read this book, if you see the story isn't. It doesn't have a lot of characters. There is not a lot of things happening around. It is not that. It is not. There is no. You can say. Not a lot of incidents happening within the book. The story is very slow. Whatever is happening is very less, but then the meanings embedded are quite deep. It is very, very deep, and it somehow leaves an imprint because we often discuss worldly affairs a lot. But we never discuss grief. We feel grief. We feel the loneliness, but we never discuss these things. This author over here, she discusses this. She discusses grief. She tries to understand grief. She tries to understand the loneliness. And then the story travels forward. These two people, they stay together. They don't know whether they're in love or what is the relationship, why they are staying together. They don't have any idea of this, what is actually happening. So it's basically life that is carrying them. They don't know. They don't know how to define their relationship. So one day it so happens that when they're staying together, the one of the friends of the guy calls, and accidentally she receives the phone. And then the other girl, who is supposedly the girlfriend of this boy, she comes over, she bashes her like anything, that why are you staying with this man? I am in love with this man. So all that happens. It is at that point that she realizes that how this loneliness have brought them together so close to each other that they didn't even realize that they were in love. So then they come out of it. She feels that I cannot do this to a boy. I don't know whether he loves me or not. So again, she separates herself. On the other hand, the boy also feels some kind of dejection. He goes away somewhere. And slowly the story progresses and then it comes to an end. What I would say about it is, if you are looking for something very spicy, very crackling, you won't find it in this book, definitely not. But there's a lot of substance in this book. It makes you think. If you are someone who has suffered from grief or might have suffered from the loss, from personal loss, then maybe you'll be able to relate it. I think every one of us will relate to this. It is something that we feel it even when we are sitting maybe in a room where there are some 10 people. We can be lonely. We can be Loneliness is uh, it is there somewhere deeply embedded, and often people don't address it. Women at times do, men or don't address loneliness. So this book is good. You can always go back to this book. You can read this book. You can suggest this book to people, and it is quite small, quite a small one, 150 pages. So that's it from my side. uh, thank you so much. I'll over to Madam Santosh Kumari, madam.
Yeah, thank you, Kuntalika. The throughout the session, you are very emotional. We can feel it. See that, and it's quite interesting. In fact, I feel like reading it. That's why, meanwhile, I downloaded a summary of this book and posted in the group. So instead of reading 156 pages, they can go through the 26 pages, so that we can have a good idea on this before going to start reading. So, any opinion or any feedback from the participants? So, it's quite insightful, and the way you delivered is very interesting. It's a kind of narrative rather than a book review. And in fact, yes, the suggestions which you provided to read the book and all that is quite good. So, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So anyone wants to share any opinion or anything to add to whatever ma'am said or something like that? Vaishnavi ma'am or Arun sir or Nissi or anyone?
Yes, I am Arun Kumar, madam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, it's a nice presentation, or what I can say, session provided by Kuntalika garu.
Thank you, sir.
Uh,
Thank you.
yeah. Actually, the way you had told the food has got such an importance from the book. Yeah, just actually it's somehow related to me also, because I have a lot of fascination for food, the quality of the food, the homeliness, the preference we give, and also the hygiene what the food that is sold outside is lacking, and how the government is not very much what I can say complied with the means ensuring the compliance that the food stalls should follow even the smallest. Somehow in a day there will be a lot of things that I also related to food in that way. But after your presentation, I came to know that okay, food has got so much. Till now, I was just thinking why I am much bothered about the food. It's not just about eating. My concern is, but everything related to food, the home, how my mother cooks, how my wife cooks, how I will enjoy these things, like that sort of comparisons, and also any sort of catering or anything related to food in any place. My friends calls me usually and asks, we are in Kakinada, which place is better? We are in Vijayawada, which place is better to eat?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
said,
Often enjoy food outside, but then again, we have this that the food that is cooked at my home is my mother makes this the best, or my grandmother prepares this the best, or after a long day I want to go back to my comfort food. So it is not the comfort of the food, but it is the comfort of the feeling.
yes, yes, that's what. As far as home is concerned, we will have that feel. It's not the taste or taste of the food. That's what doesn't matter from high. But when we go outside, actually, the taste is what for the ambience to some extent. But taste and hygiene is what
Yes, yes.
matters to me. Of course, though the main point is nothing related to food here. in the story.
Hmm.
But again, but they related means how her loneliness
Ah,
was yeah, she how she managed her loneliness with the food. Of course, that's what I want to say. That the importance of food, even a person who is lonely can be associated with the food she cooks or she eats and come out of the loneliness is a point. Though, as you said, there is no take home as in the end of the summary, what the ma'am sent has seen, the last
ah,
phrase. It's just a feel good reading. It's not
yes.
anything like a take. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
It's not going to make bring any vast change, but definitely will sit back after reading the book. Will sit back and it will make us think.
exactly, exactly. Yes, yeah, some books are like that only. What is that, the moral of the story or take home? All those things
Ah,
are somewhat immaterial.
Uh,
So here, what I understood by your brief story is that man turned woman, man turned woman,
Sir,
uh,
yes.
whom he or she feels that in her presence, death is easily seen. That's how even a new couple or two people gets acquainted to her, and one of them also dies, and the
yeah.
boy and
Yes.
girl, man and women, or man and man, you can say,
Hmm.
somehow gets into a closeness without knowing what is the relation, even though they get the question in their minds, they could not able to frame it. And at the end, what you told me, it's a loneliness, what that the common factor that brought them close. And after that, they are departed. Of course, this
Yes.
journey is what in the 150 pages book.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. A very short one.
Yes, yes. I think I got it right. Just
Ah,
I'm
yes.
validating.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Arun, sir. We
Thank you,
have
sir.
Thank you
two-minute
very much, madam.
questions.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Santoshi, madam, also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Santosh Kumari, madam, also.
Because
Thank you.
Arun, sir, actually, all the books, see, book reading is for not only for learning, it's for enjoying and getting pleasure and to feel good at times and to experience certain feelings and emotions of the others. So there are many things which go ahead. It's not like for every book you'll have some takeaway like no motivational books because you
Ah,
have categories of books. It's not like all genres are the same. So that's why when I keep on changing the books also, I keep on using different genres. That's because of that. Because book is not only for motivation, people will read novels, fiction, and science fiction, and thrillers, adventures. There are many genres. So it's something like, what category of books we like. Because each and every person, as maybe Arun sir may have a feel of like motivation books or personality development or something. And some people, they have feministic perspective books, they like it so much. Some people, they like, adventure thrillers and crime thrillers or suspense thrillers and so on. So we have different genres. So it's not like every book will have a takeaway. It's how we read, in what perspective we look at the book. Because if you are elder son in your family, your entire perspective of looking into the book changes compared
mm,
to if you are a younger person in the family. So it's like we see ourselves when we are reading a book, and that's the way we have to read the book. It's not like, generally we are reading because we need to read. It's not that. We have to enjoy when we are reading the book. That's the main purpose of book reading. So that's what I would
Yes,
like
I
to
completely agree, ma'am. I
ma'am.
completely agree. And I also not an opinion that there is no take home or anything like that. Even I have seen the last paragraph and I acknowledge that point now.
Yes, yes.
It's
No, no, just I'd like to share
the
my
deep.
feedback as well. So,
Yes,
because we have only 1 minute at the end, so I'd like to wrap up. Thank you, Arun sir, for sharing your insights. And thank you,
yes.
Dr. Kuntalika, for your wonderful session and very
okay,
insightful
ma'am.
and thought provoking, because dealing this kind of book is not so easy in half an hour. So it's a wonderful way of presentation. Thank you so much, and thank you all the members who participated today. Have a great evening.